Only the dead have seen the end of war. George Santayana. February 21st, 1916. That was the beginning of a conflict that would claim over 300,000 lives before its resolution. This conflict, the Battle of Verdun. For a quarter of 1916, German forces pushed the French army back in an effort to elicit major bloodshed and capture the French stronghold of Verdun. In mid-July, the German offensive was called off, and the French spent the rest of the year meticulously retaking lost territory. To aid in this push, the British government deployed a crack unit of Highlanders to assist the French. Rees's Risky Raiders. Deployed in multiple four-man fire teams, Rees's Risky Raiders worked behind the scenes and without thanks to aid the French in combat. History may have forgotten about these men, but we have not.
We were a small elite team, and most of the time our mission was to flank the enemy and secure strong points. There were 4 of us all together. First off, you had Staff Sergeant Soki. The first time I saw him was in the shower, and I tell you the bastard looked like he had a damn anaconda growing out of his waist. Aye, but he was a good soldier. Put a rifle in his hands, and he'd take down more than a few Brits. Next, you had Private Porter, a peppy little spitfuck who complained more than my damn wife back at home. He was also quite cringy at times as well. But I would have no other soldier at my side in a tight space. That man was a machine with a trench gun. And lastly, you had Sergeant Bunsen Douglas. Put that man behind his machine gun and you got death incarnate. But it wasn't like that at first. The first few weeks, he'd hide from most fights. Had to pick him up and slap him in the shade more than a few times. But that changed as time went on. The most memorable battle I can recall was when we were tasked to take an NG nest that was blocking our advance. To do that, we needed to go through about 45 Germans and some of the best built defense on the battlefield. So our plan was to crawl through no man's land at night and take the Germans by surprise. 2 miles of death and maggots that made you wish God didn't give you a fucking nose. When we reached the trench, we started taking out Germans where they slept. It was the worst feeling to take a man's life that was defenseless. But it's what we had to do.
This wasn't the first battle that Rees's Risky Raiders had been in, but it is the one that earned them their name. By the end of the war, they would be known across the battlefield for the feats they had performed, but somehow they were left out of the history books.